We were asked to sketch the graph y equals x squared plus 4x minus 12. We're asked to label the y-intercept, any roots, and the turning point. Well, our first step is we know it crosses the y-axis when x is 0. Hence, on the left-hand side, we're going to be left with y equals, every time we see x, we're going to substitute x to be 0. So x squared is now going to become 0 squared. Plus 4x, well, 4x in algebra, we know means 4 multiplied by x. In this case, it's going to be 4 multiplied by x. In this case, x is 0. And I'm still going to have negative 12 on the end. We know 0 squared will give us 0. 4 times 0, anything times by 0 will give us 0. I'm just left with negative 12. I also know it crosses the x-axis when y is 0. Hence, substituting when y equals to 0 into my quadratic. Therefore, I'll be left with x squared plus 4x minus 12 equal to 0. When solving a quadratic, if I have 3 terms, in this case I'm going to factorise into what's known as double brackets. As it starts x squared, I know each bracket will start with a single x. I want to find 2 numbers that multiply together to give us a number term, in this case negative 12, and the same 2 numbers must still add to give us a number in front of the single letter, which in this case is positive 4. Well, the only 2 numbers that multiply to give us negative 12 and still add together to give us positive 4, in this case, it's going to be plus 6 and minus 2. As I'm solving for x, placing each single bracket equal to 0, well, I know if x plus 6 equal to 0, therefore x would equal to negative 6. That's one root. And I'm placing my second single bracket equal to 0. Well, the opposite of minus 2, therefore, is to add 2. Therefore, my other root is at positive 2. To find the turning point, I complete the square. When completing the square, if our quadratic starts x squared, I can start by opening my square brackets and place a single x inside. To find the value that goes inside the bracket, I always halve, i.e. divide by 2, the number in front of the single letter of x. In this case, 4 divided by 2 was 2, so I have plus 2 on the inside. I then always subtract that number squared. Well, I know 2 squared gives me 4, so therefore I'm going to subtract 4. And I place the original number on the end. In this case, my original number is negative 12. Leaving the square brackets alone, simplify my number terms. Here I have negative 4 subtract another 12, which was simplified to give us negative 16. To find our turning point, it's always the opposite to the bracket. In this case, the opposite of plus 2, therefore is minus 2. And we always keep our number term exactly the same. In this case, negative 16. Sketching the graph, I know it has a y-intercept at negative 12. So on the y-axis, I'm going to label negative 12. I know it has 2 roots at x is positive 2 and x is negative 6. So positive 2 and negative 6. I know it has a turning point, negative 2, negative 16, will be somewhere down here. Finally, sketching my graph, as it's positive x squared, I therefore know it's a parabola, like a U shape.